My brother called again, said somebody offered cash, more than the last guy, more than it was worth, at least on paper. The old boat sat by the lake, tilted a little now, paint peeling, wood getting soft, grass growing underneath it. Every year it looked older, every year we said the same thing. Maybe this is the year, maybe it's time. The boat we never sold, still sitting there. The boat we never sold, beside the water. The boat we never sold, holding more than wood. The boat we never sold. Dad bought it used before I can remember, before my brother could swim, before gray hair, before funerals, before life got complicated. Back when summer felt endless and Saturdays belonged to us. Dad would back the trailer down and tie the ropes, push us off the shore. And somehow the whole world got bigger the second we left the dock. The boat we never sold, still sitting there. The boat we never sold, beside the water. The boat we never sold, holding more than wood. The boat we never sold. We caught almost nothing, that's the funny part. People think fishing was the memory, it wasn't. The memory was Dad laughing. The memory was sandwiches wrapped in foil. The memory was sunscreen. The memory was falling asleep with the engine humming and water tapping the side. The memory was being together, back when together was easy. Years later, Dad got older, trips got shorter. The boat stayed tied up more often than one summer. It never left the dock, then another, and one day the key stayed hanging on the garage wall. The boat we never sold, still sitting there. The boat we never sold, beside the water. The boat we never sold, holding more than wood. The boat we never sold. After the funeral we talked about selling it. Everybody does. You make lists, you divide things up. You tell yourself they're just objects. The truck sold, the tools sold, the old mower sold, but not the boat. Every time we listed it, one of us changed our mind. Every time somebody called, one of us found a reason. Not today, maybe next month, maybe next summer, maybe later, always later. Last fall, my brother and I sat inside it for the first time in years. Didn't launch it, didn't start anything, just sat there looking across the lake like two kids pretending to captain a ship. The seats were cracked, the floor was weak, the smell was gone, but somehow Dad wasn't. The boat we never sold, still sitting there. The boat we never sold, beside the water. The boat we never sold, holding more than wood. The boat we never sold. The sun started setting the same way it always had, across the same water, across the same shoreline, across the same memories. And for a minute I swear I could hear him telling us to sit down before the boat tipped, telling us to quit arguing, telling us to hold the flashlight. Things he must have said 1,000 times. Maybe that's why it stays. Not because we can't move on, not because we're stuck, because some things stop being property, some things stop being objects, some things become a place where a family still exists. The boat we never sold, still sitting there. The boat we never sold, beside the water. The boat we never sold, holding all our summers. The boat we never sold. Every morning, just after sunrise, I untie the rope, push the boat away from the same old dock, the same old lake, the same old routine. The neighbors wave, the birds show up, the water stays calm most days. Nothing changes except one thing. One seat still empty across from me. One seat still empty after all these years. One seat still empty, waiting by the water. One seat still empty. You used to bring coffee in that blue thermos, the one with the dent near the bottom. You said it made the coffee taste better. I said that's not how coffee works. You said I worry too much, and somehow you were usually right. The boat wasn't special, just aluminum, a small motor, a couple of seats, nothing anybody would look at twice. But for 30 years it carried our mornings across this lake. One seat still empty across from me. One seat still empty after all these years. One seat still empty, waiting by the water. One seat still empty. We didn't talk much out here, not because we had problems, because we didn't need to. You'd point at something, a deer on the shoreline, a fish jumping, a cloud that looked strange, and somehow that was enough. The older we got, the less explaining we needed. Silence became another language, one we both spoke fluently. The last trip felt normal, that's what stays with me. You laughed at something, spilled a little coffee, told me I was steering too close to the reeds. The kind of conversation nobody writes down, nobody records, nobody thinks they'll miss. Then one day there were hospitals, waiting rooms, phone calls, and suddenly the seat across from me stopped having a person in it. One seat still empty across from me. One seat still empty after all these years. One seat still empty, waiting by the water. One seat still empty. The grandkids ask sometimes why nobody sits there. I tell them it's just easier this way, but that's not the truth. The truth is, every time I look up, part of me still expects to see you there, holding that thermos, adjusting your hat, telling me the lake looks different today. The truth is, the boat knows too. I've had chances, friends have asked, neighbors have asked, my brother has asked to come along. I always say no, not because I don't like company, because that seat already has someone, and always will. One seat still empty across from me. One seat still empty after all these years. One seat still empty, waiting by the water. One seat still empty. The lake changes every season. Summer brings fishermen, autumn brings colors, winter freezes everything quiet, spring starts it all over again. But that seat never changes. Rain falls on it, snow covers it, sun fades it, time ages it, still nobody sits there. Some people leave and take up less space, others leave and somehow take up more. You belong to the second kind. The shoreline comes into view. I shut off the motor, let the boat drift the way we used to. Back when mornings felt endless, back when the future seemed bigger, back when both seats were full. For a moment the water goes completely still, and so do I. The sun climbs higher, the lake turns gold, and for a second I can almost hear you. Not clearly, just enough, like a voice carried across water, like a memory refusing to fade. One seat still empty across from me. One seat still empty after all these years. One seat still empty, waiting by the water. sea still empty. I tie the boat back up, step onto the dock, look over my shoulder. One last time, the seat is empty. Just like yesterday, just like last year, just like every morning since sun. That's exactly where you still are. One seat still empty. One seat still empty. Across the lake, across the years, one seat still empty. I hadn't been back in almost 20 years. The road felt smaller, the trees felt taller, the gas station was gone. The diner was different, but the lake was still there, exactly where I left it, waiting like it knew I'd come back someday. I parked the truck, walked down the old path, past the reeds, past the weathered signs, past 1,000 summers buried somewhere beneath the dirt. And there it was, an old boat tied to the dock. Nothing special, just an old rope, an old knot. And suddenly, I wasn't 58 anymore. The rope on the dock, that's where it happened. The rope on the dock brought him back again. The rope on the dock, not a picture, not a voice. The rope on the dock. Dad never started with engines, never started with fishing, never started with maps. The first thing he taught me was the knot. Learn this first, he said, everything else comes later. I was 9, maybe 10, my fingers too small, my patience too short, I kept getting it wrong. Over and over, the rope slipping loose, the loops falling apart. Dad just smiled and made me try again. The rope on the dock, that's where it happened. The rope on the dock brought him back again. The rope on the dock, not a picture, not a voice. The rope on the dock. Funny thing about fathers, when you're young, you think they're teaching you ropes or tools or fishing or driving. Years later you realize they were teaching something else. Patience, responsibility, taking care of things, taking care of people. The knot was never about the boat. The knot was about staying, about holding on. When something mattered, the lake was quiet, just wind and distant birds. I stood there staring at that same knot, like it held a language only he and I understood. I could still hear him, not too tight, not too loose. Try again, you're getting closer. The words came back, as clear as yesterday. The rope on the dock, that's where it happened. The rope on the dock brought him back again. The rope on the dock, not a picture, not a voice. The rope on the dock. Dad's been gone 12 years, long enough for people to stop mentioning it, long enough for the world to move on, long enough for his truck to disappear, his clothes to disappear, his house to belong to someone else, but not long enough for a simple knot to stop feeling like him. Some memories arrive loudly, birthdays, funerals, photographs. Others sneak up on you in ordinary places. An old smell, a song, a chair, a rope, and suddenly someone is standing beside you again. I reach down, touch the knot, without thinking, in my hands remember every movement, every turn, every pull, like the years had never happened. Like my father had hidden himself inside muscle memory, waiting for the right moment to come back. The rope on the dock, that's where it happened. The rope on the dock brought him back again. The rope on the dock, not a picture, not a voice. The rope on the dock. The sun started dropping, the water turned gold, the same gold it wore when I was a kid, the same gold it wore when Dad stood here, teaching me something I wouldn't understand until decades later. I untied the knot, then tied it again, slowly, carefully, exactly the way he showed me all those years ago. And for a second, it felt like shaking his hand. One more time, the rope on the dock, that's where it happened. The rope on the dock brought him back again. The rope on the dock, not a picture, not a voice. The rope on the dock. I walk back to the truck, the lake behind me, the evening settling in, and I realize something. Some people leave photographs, some people leave letters. My father left a knot, and somehow that was enough. The rope on the dock, still holding strong. The rope on the dock, across the years. The rope on the dock, still teaching lessons. The rope on the dock, the rope on the dock.